Good morning. Day 81 of hiking the Appalachian Trail in 100 days. And you might hear some noise around me. I'm near the Laurel Fork now, which I think is the same little stream river that we were near coming into Damascus a few days ago. Obviously it's further down the stream, but had a bit of another issue this morning, which was mostly just me being lazy, and that is that when I got my food down from the bear bag tree, there was a little kind of knot in one side of the rope that I didn't get out before pulling the rope over to get it down, and so the end of the rope got caught in the tree right at the top, and it was obviously too high up for me to get or anything, but I left it and said I'll wait for it to get a little bit lighter out and I'll do everything else before I have to go. And crossing the stream here now, and so I ended up climbing the tree and was able to undo the knot and get it down, the rope down. It was pretty sketchy though, because the tree wasn't like a branch of a tree. It was just like I had just thrown the rope over a tree that was basically, the top half of it was like horizontal, and so it was like the tree was moving a lot. And I actually climbed most of the way up the tree before this, but I was like, man, this feels really sketchy. If this tree breaks, I'm just gonna fall 15 feet to the ground, and then the tree's gonna fall right on top of me, so that's not good. But I ended up using the rope and suspended my whole body weight from the rope that was attached to the tree, and that was further out on a weaker point, quote unquote, of the tree than I would be climbing. So I figured, even though it felt pretty sketchy and it was bending a lot, it would be okay. So I got up there. It definitely felt sketchy, but kept going and got the rope down, and didn't get injured at all, so we'll call that a win. Definitely not the safest thing I've done on the trail, but I was reasonably confident, I guess, that I would be okay. So that was the excitement for the morning. Just about 3 miles in, down the mountain, and gonna try to do, I think, close to 27 today, so still moving slow, but we'll see how that goes. These are the Laurel Fork Falls. Pretty neat, actually. There's actually a Laurel Fork shelter that I passed probably about a mile back. I didn't go directly past it, I didn't see it. It's a little bit off the trail. But the shelter actually burned down just about 7 or 10 days ago, I think. And at least initially they didn't know the cause of the shelter burning down, so it's probably some idiot doing something, I guess, but that's unfortunate. I never had it in my plans to stay there, but it's always unfortunate when something like that happens, because then it just makes more work for the volunteers who work on the trail. So you got to clean it up, and if they want to rebuild it, it takes a lot of work and money and time. And for the hikers, it takes away a place that they could have stayed. And I think in this case, the Laurel Fork shelter was kind of like further away from other shelters. I know the next shelter north of it is like 15 miles, and I think the next shelter south of it is like 5 or 10 miles. So there's going to be now like a 20 to 25 mile section, I think, where there's like no actual shelter, which, you know, people can survive, but typically there's a shelter every 10 to 15, 18 miles, so that's a little bit better for some people. Getting some good climbing in so far, and have been rewarded here with a little view. Been moving pretty slow today, less than 2.5 miles an hour, so it's gonna make for a long day, but that's all right. I can do long days and put in the miles, and I would say in general, kind of like a delayed gratification type person, if you haven't picked up on that vibe at all yet. So in my eyes, it's like, oh, I do a longer day today, and that gets me an easier day towards the end of the trip. So that's kind of my perspective and thoughts. Oh, tripped a little bit there when I'm thinking about, you know, how I'm planning my days and stuff like that. But I'm hoping I can pick up the pace a little bit so that it's not quite as long. So it's just after 2 o'clock, and I stopped a little ways back at a stream for my midday break, and ended up cooking up dinner there and filling up on water. And the place I think I'm going to stay tonight is about 10.5, 11 more miles, and there's no water there. And if I do end up going a little further, there probably won't be water wherever I end up camping. So ate my dinner, and I think there should be a good water source less than 2 miles from where I plan to camp for the night. So I'll camel up a little bit there, and I think there's actually a nice waterfall there as well, so that should be neat. I think the hiking has been going better the last few hours. Definitely got a little faster later in the morning and early afternoon. I got to that spot where I stopped for my break in just under 6 hours, and that was 15.8 miles, so that's around 2.7 miles an hour, I think. So I'm pleased with that. Haven't had all that much to see today, but I think tomorrow I'm going to be heading up over 5,000 feet again, so hopefully we'll get some nice views then. Well, this is a nice little view and opening, and I think there's a chance I might be going up some of those mountains over there probably tomorrow, because I know, like I said, I think I'm going to be up above 5,000 feet tomorrow, and also I think the trail kind of turns and curves some, so we'll see. So it's about 4:15 now, and still have a ways to go for the day, right around 6 miles, but I stopped and actually got some trail magic a little bit ago, which was absolutely incredible, because it's been like a month since I've had some actual trail magic like along the trail. There's been lots of trail magic I've experienced in one form or another over the past month of just people being kind and generous, but this is the first one. Someone had their car parked out at a road crossing and gave me some food, so that was fantastic. It was a lady named Emoji who does tons of trail magic in the Tennessee, North Carolina area. And so I had a Yoo-hoo and Dr. Pepper and a banana. What else? Bag of Cheetos and a little mint moon pie, I think. So that was all awesome. Chatted with her a while. She was super nice. I think I was there about 30 minutes, so that delays me getting to camp for the day, but that's fine. Got to enjoy it while I can, because probably not gonna see this kind of generosity all the time once I'm done hiking the trail. So that really brightened my day a lot, just because I haven't had any real trail magic like that in such a long time, since I've kind of out here with not many other hikers around. And she said she met Bog Balls 2 days ago, a little bit north of Hot Springs. So I think at this point he's a little bit more than a week ahead of me probably. So that's good to hear for him. And yeah, I really just enjoyed that. And like I said, gonna be hiking a little later than normal today, but it was worth it, I think. So according to the map on Far Out, I am technically in North Carolina now, though I've just been in the state for like 2 minutes, and it'll probably only be 2 minutes more before I cross back into Tennessee. But I think along here for the next while, actually, like probably maybe a week, the trail goes pretty close to the North Carolina-Tennessee border, and you kind of go back and forth. At least that's kind of my understanding. I haven't actually looked at it super close, but that's kind of my perception and what I've heard. So still a long ways to go, I think, before we're fully in North Carolina and completely done with Tennessee. But a nice little milestone, I guess, or cool little moment to celebrate for a minute. So I'm here at Jones Falls, and it's actually a pretty neat waterfall. The lady at the Trail Magic Emoji, she said it wasn't as cool as Laurel Falls that we saw this morning, but there's definitely less water, but I think it's a lot cooler just because it's taller and the water is really coming down there. So that's pretty neat. Got some water filtering here, filling up before I get to the campsite. Have less than 2 miles left, and it's about 5:45 now, so we'll probably get to camp around 6:30, 6:45 maybe. So definitely, like I said, later day today, but had some good hiking and saw some good things and had some trail magic, which was awesome. In the tent for the night, and I got to the campsite just a few minutes after 6:30, so definitely a later day by my standards, but got some trail magic this afternoon, so that was awesome, like I mentioned. And saw that waterfall, which was cool as well. So got everything set up, had some of my snacks and food and stuff, and hung the bear bag, filtered some water, all that good stuff, and am in the tent right now. It's a little after 8 o'clock, gonna get to bed soon. And I did a total of 26.7 miles today, and I'm at mile marker 1,798.3. So I officially have less than 400 miles to go on the trip. And in terms of a historical event from 1798, I believe there was something in 1798 called the XYZ Affair, which was from during the presidency of John Adams, and I think it had something to do with trade issues between the U.S. and France, and I really don't remember much more about it, but I think it had something to do with like trade or something like that. So that's what I have today in terms of history from 1798. If some of that is incorrect, if none of that is correct, let me know in the comments below, and let me know as well if you know of anything else that happened in 1798 that is notable. So looking forward to crossing the 1800 mile mark tomorrow, and I think I'm going to have some big climbing in the morning to get up to some big mountains, and hopefully we'll get some nice views as well. So I'm looking forward to that.